18th floor of the new Laidley Tower. The view's beautiful from here. Downstairs, a couple of floors are getting ready for a big party tonight that will be part of the official dedication of Laidley Tower. This building is the newest part of a trend that's developed in downtown Charleston recently. During the past 2 years, there are new business offices popping up all over town. Laidley Tower is a shining example of the move toward more high-rise office buildings in the city. Others have already been completed. Some are still under construction. Willard and Arnold Communications, a new public relations firm, moved into the renovated Daniel Boone Hotel, now called 405 Capitol Street.
While downtown redevelopment is progressing in the Capitol Street area, a number of businessmen along Hale Street are worried about their fate. The shopkeepers say word is circulating that they'll be forced to move to make way for a parking lot. And they say the city hasn't told them anything.
They haven't told us anything. What's going to happen or when it's going to happen is the main concern. You give us time to organize and get ready to make a move if we have to make a move.
I think it is a creative atmosphere. Our business certainly is one that we would like to reflect the fact that we're creative, and I think the environment reflects that also.
You don't know where to move. You can't plan to move if you had to. To relocate, virtually impossible in this area.
Being a leader in the financial services industry, we wanted to be in what we perceive to be the nicest location for office space in town.
Mayor Rourke says Hale Street is part of the urban renewal plan, which may include additional parking for new housing.
Those plans didn't fall out of the sky or come out from under a rock somewhere. They were developed over about a 1.5 year period of time in conjunction with Charleston Renaissance Corporation. There were public hearings that were held.
About 50 people gathered at the base of the Capitol to rally in protest of Governor Moore's plan to replace the fading paint on the Capitol dome with gold leaf. Moore announced the proposal shortly after it was learned that West Virginia was no longer #1 on the nation's jobless list.
Also, we never thought we would see 30-year fixed-term mortgages again.
But those mortgage rates are now available. In the Kanawha County area, for instance, interest rates are 9.5% for a conventional mortgage with 5% down and 9% on FHA for a 30-year fixed-term mortgage. Those rates are not only encouraging new home sales, but also the sale of occupied homes as well.
That's one satisfied customer, I guess. With me now is Dudley Webb, who's one of the co-owners of Laidley Tower. Mr. Webb, I guess the question to ask is there enough of a market for business in Charleston to support all these buildings?
We think so. We're very bullish, obviously, on Charleston to come in here. This is about a $35 million investment for us. And Charleston is one of those garden spot cities of the Sun Belt that we've targeted for growth and for development. Obviously, we feel very positive about this community, and lease-up is going far and ahead of expectations, really.
You'd say you have the most distinctive building?
Oh, I think so. We've got what we call the Sterling Address here, and we're sold on it. We invite the public to come by and look at it.
Mrs. Harris has lived next door more than 20 years.
I live alone, and I would like at one time to think about selling my property, and I've been told this puts my property value down at least $15,000. And we are infested with rats and mice. My son-in-law even killed a snake.
The trip back from Louisiana was tough on the Denny, but 1,600 miles later, the 55-year-old sternwheeler is ready for the summer season on the Kanawha.
John Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy have been in here. They shot bull in here during their campaign in 1960.
The Urban Renewal Authority's plan calls for tearing down the Strand and several other businesses here on Hale Street to make parking available for Capitol Street businesses. A plan Cassis and some of his patrons say they just don't understand.
Here they're going to tear us out to make parking lot for Capitol Street, which is all empty. I can't see any sense in that. That's ridiculous.
A lot of the buildings have been torn down, or the occupants have moved. So we really need a place like this. I think it would be a shame to lose it.
Meet Bullseye Barry and Pat Splat, or how about Mugged Marcus? They're just three in a whole family of Garbage Pail Kids, a collection of gruesome-looking creatures that real kids can't seem to get enough of, and stores run out in no time.
We sold out of them. We can't keep them in stock.
But West Virginia Treasurer A. James Manchin says the cards threaten the well-being of children, and after getting dozens of complaints, he's asking stores to pull them from their shelves.
They don't need to have a chewing gum company or a bubble gum company sending them cards that show mutilation, cannibalism, torture, one child being burned alive on a bubblegum card, and these have started now to impress the youngsters, and we simply don't need that.
Living in the Kanawha Valley, it seems appropriate to consider the possibility of a chemical explosion or disaster, and that's simply why we chose that as our scenario for today's simulation.
We'd expect that there would be more patients going to the intensive care unit because of respiratory distress, and it might make it necessary to have extra personnel and extra areas for that purpose.
How important is a drill like this?
I think it's very, very important because every time we do one of these drills, we find different problems, and we're gradually ironing out the problems so that if we did have a real emergency, we would be prepared for it.
All contributed to the incident at Bull Paul. Metal discs inserted between pipeline flanges to block vent headers, and some of that is shown over on this MIT.
This thing should not happen again.
More than 24 hours after the...
I had no indication that in fact could happen, where you could run a plant that didn't conform to standard operating procedures, and it bothers me, and it still bothers me.
That is no.
No, but I mean, you're going to be producing a lot more than ever before, am I correct in that?
I'm pretty certain, at least I like to believe, I'm telling myself that, we have a pretty good chance that it would not happen here.
People concerned about MIC aren't convinced that Institute and West Dunbar residents could escape should a deadly leak occur. That's why they want to schedule an evacuation drill.
Our best guess is that we're probably trapped here.
West Virginia State Professor Edwin Hoffman is chairman of people concerned about MIC. The group's worried that should a leak occur, residents may not have enough time to escape. OSHA says the Institute plan has serious problems with safety systems, record-keeping, safety and health programs, and safety management systems, resulting in more than $1.3 million in fines. OSHA says Carbide demonstrated willful disregard for health and safety.
I think you need to bear in mind that Carbide does have a safety management system in place. And what we're saying is that it can be improved.
Hoffman says that OSHA's allegations of safety violations at Carbide have heightened the need for the drill. He says Carbide should operate more responsibly.
We think they are a badly managed company. We think they've had poorly designed equipment, and we think they haven't been telling us the truth.
Arms and legs burning.
Carbide officials confirmed there was almost a 20-minute delay before area emergency personnel were notified of the leak.
Our alarm system prints the time that it comes in. It printed 9:25.
So you're saying, in essence, there was a 20-minute delay?
19 minutes, according to the log.
Because you didn't think it would leave the plant, is that it?
Well, that combined with addressing our efforts to getting the people out, a combination of those efforts. That's right. The assessment of what was going on.
That gas had been over the whole community for at least an hour before they came out. I looked out, I saw it. It's like going through a cloud in an airplane. It was a white fog. Communicate with us. They say they're going to be honest and open. Be honest and open. I'd rather be told what I'm breathing and what the effects are than being not told to not frighten me. I'm more frightened of the unknown than I am of what to know.
It was only about
11 before I got any information on the radio that a leak had occurred at Institute, that probably you should stay in your home and this kind of stuff.
We've been worrying just about MIC, and they got lots of things like that over there, and this is part of the MIC track.
I am very concerned. This is the first time you've seen me.
Thank you. That's it. We had no notification from the company of anything happening. We had to inquire on our own. There is no legal requirement for them to notify us. That's one of the things I want to talk to you about later today.
Mr. Kanawha, after Bhopal occurred, didn't you in fact assure the people of this community that this kind of thing could not happen here?
Bhopal hasn't happened here.
Well, although the gas was not a deadly gas.
You're not suggesting that this comes anywhere near Bhopal.
No, I'm saying that you suggested that this sort of thing that happened yesterday could not occur here at this Institute plant.
I don't think I said that unequivocally. I said, you know, because of the way we operate in our systems and that type of thing, that it's highly unlikely.
Chemical Valley and Chemical Valley Sunset, that happens to be a name for a number of paintings that I did. Have to do with the configuration of the structure of the chemical plants, as well as the fog and smog and some of the atmospheric effects that are in many ways very beautiful. They may be deadly and to some extent, but they are visually very exciting and beautiful.
Well, I think what happens is Class C grows to Class B, Class B grows to Class A, and so forth, and the market is self-sustaining, self-fulfilling. Each of the new businesses who start up need space, and then they continue to grow and so forth, and it takes care of itself.
A baby getting beat up.